when I made that video about walking 5 miles every day, but then I failed, but then I kept trying, but then I still failed? I'm gonna do that again. I should probably mention that I'm not walking 5 miles again. It's gonna be more like 3 miles, which is around 6,000 steps. So I am starting this challenge on September 4th, which is a Friday. Here we go. So the $1 million question is, why am I doing this again? Because I'm learning from my mistakes. And the mistake that I made last time was setting a goal that was too unrealistic for where I was at mentally. So I'm bringing that goal down just a little bit, just a notch. It's day 5 and I'm still walking. You know, we're quickly approaching the middle of September and I'm still in Pennsylvania. I only brought 2 t-shirts, a couple of tank tops and shorts with me. What am I supposed to do? I don't know what's gonna happen if the weather gets cold and I'm still here. Ideally, the plan is that New York agreed to add $300 to unemployment, but it still hasn't gone into effect. If it does, I can get by on that extra $300 and go back to New York City, but still waiting, still here. Have you ever noticed that I always film myself in the most unflattering angles possible? I like to keep it real, keep it humble. Number 5, it's me again. This is day 6. I don't know. All I know is that my shorts are trying to ride up into my crotch, which is like a constant battle for me and why I hate clothes so much. Apparently it's gonna rain tomorrow, so if it does, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. But right now it's very cloudy and looks like it's gonna rain, but according to my weather radar, it's not. So I'm trying to get this walk in as fast as I can. Look at that, day 6 complete. Wow. Getting my steps in. It's almost 1 p.m. right now, and this is what the sky looks like. According to the weather radar, it's supposed to storm starting at 2 p.m. and then go throughout the afternoon and evening. I tend to go for my walk around 6:30 p.m., so I'm doing it now because I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to do it any other time. Thankfully, I already walked 2,000 steps at the supermarket, so I only have 4,000 to go. Almost there, almost there. Yay, I did it. And I hated it. So here's your results. Read it and weep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And this is what I look like as a sweaty mess. Well, I completed a week and I haven't been in a good place mentally. So let's just keep going. Now maybe you're asking yourself, but Karen, why are you continuing if you're not in a good place mentally? Because it's the only thing I have going for me. So it's day 11, mental exhaustion is totally kicking in, which kind of doesn't make sense because I'm not doing anything else, but I just feel very tired mentally. Like I don't want to do this, and I know that's part in due or mostly in due, really. Let's just say it's all due to the fact that I've not been feeling life lately, and there's been a lot of my mind that's been getting me down, and trying to deal with that and address some issues and some realizations that I've had. Nevertheless, I persevere. So this morning I found myself in a place that really caught me off guard. I had gotten dressed and I was looking at myself in the mirror in the bathroom, and all of a sudden I thought to myself, this isn't me. The way that I dressed, the way that I looked, it triggered something in my brain where I looked at my reflection and I thought, that's not who I am. And I can't stop thinking about that. Because this is the way that I usually dress. I dress like this all the time. I'm wearing sweatpants because My job, I'm at home all day, and then I would go do my job, come back, and then boom, get ready for bed. Like, I don't go out and wander around the city in New York City. I don't do anything interesting, so there's not really a point to dressing up. So I guess you would call the lazy, just rolled out of bed look is my MO, but it's something that I do out of convenience. Like, I don't really make an effort. For me, clothes have been clothes that you just wear. I have an interest in fashion, but I don't know enough. Just a t-shirt, sweatpants type of person though. But that's not me, but it is me. And I guess this is coming from a place where everything in my life feels like a lie because of realizing what my deep-rooted motivation was. So I'm questioning everything about me, everything about my life. Did I really like that thing? Did I really want to be that career? Stuff like that. I feel very confused. Whew, this walking challenge just completely took a turn. I wasn't expecting that. There must be some Tauros in the atmosphere because... Brrr. Yeehaw! This is the first time I haven't sweat on a walk. Here we are on day 13, and I'm trying to do what Monty Python says to do. Always look on the bright side of life. Let me tell you, it is so easy to just want to give up on everything and just, quit, not even try, but I'm trying to fight. I'm really trying to fight. I don't know what that says, that I'm still going with this and not feeling it with anything else in my life, but And there it is, day 14, the final day. Wow, over 9,000 steps. This is the most that I have walked since June 1st. Way to end on a high. Yeah. I started this challenge on September 4th, and here I am on September 18th, successfully completing 2 weeks of walking at least 3 miles. One question I am curious to know the answer to is, how much did my body change after consistently walking 2 weeks? My weight is currently 292.6 pounds, which is shocking to me. My weight as of September 1st was 294.8 pounds, but when I started the challenge on September 4th, my weight was 295.8 pounds because I was on my period. So my weight was fluctuating big time. At one point, my weight got up to 298 pounds. For that reason, I'm not going to say, oh, I've lost this many pounds, because my body was fluctuating a lot. So you can figure that out on your own, but I am currently at 292.6 pounds. The measurements ended up being the most surprising. This challenge ended up coinciding with when I do my halfway check-in with my measurements, which was on September 15th. I honestly did not expect any changes from September 1st, but there were. Unfortunately, they're not written side by side, but you'll see. So the chest was 48.5, the bust was 53.5, my waist was at 49.5, my hips at 54, and then you've got my left bicep. I can't read. What is that? Left bicep at 16 inches, right bicep at 16.5 inches. As of September 15th, chest is 47.5 inches, bust is 53 inches, waist 49 inches, hips 54 inches again.
I don't understand why there's like no change in my hips whatsoever. What am I doing wrong? The left bicep 15 inches and the right bicep at 15.5 inches. So most of these areas went down either half an inch or 1 inch. The only exception was the hips. I don't understand, but I will take everything else. So yeah, awesome. Honestly, after 2 weeks of walking, I did not expect to see what is to me such a significant change. And what's funny is that I assumed that my weight would stay the same because towards the end of the challenge, my weight kept staying consistent. But I know with fluctuation and also what I learned from, I'm sure I've mentioned him before and I'm gonna mention him again, Jordan Syatt. He always talks about how you will have the whoosh. Your weight stays the same or it goes up a bit and then holds and then all of a sudden, whoosh. So it seems that's what my weight did. Had a whoosh. If it weren't for that piece of information, I probably would still remain stuck in that mentality of, oh no, the scale is staying the same, it's going up, that means something is wrong, that means I'm doing something wrong. No, it's just body doing its normal fluctuation thing. Just gotta have patience. I do want to give context to the weight loss and measurements results from this challenge. While I was consistently walking every day for 2 weeks for about an hour, averaging at least 3 miles every single day, my diet / eating habits were also a huge factor in that. I was making good choices when it came to what I was eating, and I was also staying in a healthy caloric deficit. For my body weight, I was averaging between like 1900 calories and 2200 calories. Now sometimes I went a little bit above 2200 calories, but for the most part, like it would range 1900 to 22. There was one day where everything that I was feeling got to be too much for me and I was tired of emoting. I was absolutely tired with having to deal with my feelings and I went out and bought a package of cookies and ate them. Thankfully, it was just one day, but I did it. It's done. And clearly it did not affect my results. When it comes to how I'm feeling about accomplishing this challenge and looking back on the first time when I tried to walk 5 miles versus now completing, 2 weeks worth of walking 3 miles, this challenge ended up being more than just holding myself accountable and finishing something that I started. In the middle of it, I just started breaking down mentally. I had this epiphany that I will be explaining further in another video, but I did talk about it on my Instagram, so if you're not following me, go do that. I realized that my entire life has been motivated by seeking approval, attention, being liked. Everything that I have had an interest in, everything that I have tried to pursue, that has been at the core of it. And so while I was trying to come to terms with all of this brand new information and what it meant and what I needed to do for myself, I still had to complete this walking challenge. And I did. I wanted to give up. I wanted to not bother, but I do that so many times and I'm tired of it. So I did keep going, even if I was feeling miserable most of those days. Even though this was an easy challenge for me on paper, it did present its own challenges, and that's in addition to everything that I was going through emotionally and mentally. Luckily, weather was not one of those challenges like my last video. So not only was I struggling mentally, I was also struggling physically. There were days where I just couldn't get my body to move. You know when a kid just doesn't want to do anything or go anywhere and they suddenly become dead weight? And you try to pick them up and they magically weigh a ton? That's what my body felt like. There were days where like everything just felt so heavy and I couldn't move my legs to get walking, and it wasn't pleasant. So if you want to know why I look so miserable at the end of day 7, that is why, because that is exactly what happened to me. I couldn't move my body and it took me forever to finish walking on that day. It was such a struggle, and yeah. Why do our bodies do that? So that's that. I completed walking 3 miles every day for 2 weeks. It's weird. I actually completed a challenge and I'm just like, okay, cool. Being positive is so hard for me. But I am proud of myself. I set out to do something and I finished it despite the odds. It felt like so many elements were against me, but I still pushed through. As hard and as frustrating as it might be, patience really is key, and remembering that a healthy weight loss should be slow, and it's okay for it to be slow. It's gonna take time. There are gonna be ups and downs and over arounds. When you get there in the end, wherever it is that you're going, you are going to be so proud of yourself. And that's what I am trying to remember. And by the end of my initial journey, because really this is a lifelong journey, let's be serious, I can look back on everything that I have been through, particularly all of the lows and all of those defeating moments where I felt like there was no hope for me. And I can see that the hope that I was looking for was inside of me the entire time, because I am the one who's going to get me through this journey. So I hope that helps somebody out there. And yeah, that's all I've got. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.